make the actual cut. We're going to go over some of the things that we don't want to see you do on a table saw. Remember that anything that gets caught in a table saw could pull whatever gets caught down into the saw. So you want to get rid of any of your long sleeves. You want to get rid of all of your jewelry. You want to tie your hair back. Anything that can get caught, whether it's lanyards for your keys, any of that stuff could become very dangerous. Rings, watches, hoodie strings. So you want to make sure all that stuff's tucked away so that you can't get caught in the machines. So what we're going to do is we're going to go on and we're going to show you some of the things that definitely you don't want to do. You never freehand anything on a table saw. So what happens is, this is an actual saw cut here. They call it a kerf, okay? That saw blade should stay straight in that cut. If it doesn't, and you get a little bit sideways on it, what happens is it will bind. If it binds, the saw is going to throw the piece back at you. That's the operator. You don't really want to do that to yourself. So never, never, ever freehand anything on here. That's a very dangerous situation. Okay, so on a piece like this here, you'd be in a cross-cutting mode because you're going across the grain. You never ever want to try to push a piece through, because as you do it, what it does is it does one of these. And I talk about the kerf cut and getting sort of sideways in a kerf cut, causing it to bind. It will throw this piece back at you. You have both your hands in a very bad situation, and it'll come back and hit the operator. You can use it on a long one too. Like this here, it's even worse because you got a lot of, and that's what it does. It calls racking. It wants to come in and do this, which will cause it to bind and come back on you. Very dangerous situation. One thing you never want to do when you're working on any woodworking equipment is you never want to cross your hands over. So what happens is I never ever want to do this. Somebody bumps me from behind, or I get myself in trouble, and I'm all tied up and I'm off balance, it could be disastrous. Never, always keep them, if you can, keep them about shoulder width apart if you can. But remember, never to crisscross them. Puts you in a very, very dangerous situation. Okay, so as the person that's on the back end, that we call the tailing person, okay, they're going to be receiving the piece. They want to make sure that they basically don't touch the piece or take control of it till it's past the blade and the operator's ready for them to take it out of their hands. What you need to do as the operator too is you need to keep the piece flat. So basically you don't want it to pick up on it, and you don't want to basically push down on it, because that could be dangerous for the operator. And remember, it's the operator that's going to get hit if anything happens. So make sure that it's past the blade. Make sure that you just tuck your hands up underneath, just so you support the weight of it, and you keep it flat on the table. One thing you don't want to do is you don't want to clamp onto it and pull on it. When people pull on it, they have a tendency of pulling it off the fence. And basically, a lot of times, especially with no riving knife, it could wrap around the blade and come back and hit the operator, or it will cut a bit of a curve on the piece. Okay, so we're going to do a demonstration on that. So myself, as the person that's tailing or catching, I want to just keep it level, and I do not want to grab onto it. Once the operator gets past, then I can take the piece and slide it straight back.